All right, so think about if they've bought a solution like this before. In my business, Enhanced Marketing Solutions, the problem that we were solving was we had a bunch of auctioneers in our franchise network who had money coming into their offices that their sellers were actually giving them to go out and conduct an auction around a seller's piece of property. So if you've never been to an auction before, it's just event marketing. That's really all it is. You're getting people at a certain place, certain time, getting them in a competitive mindset, and you want them to have their pocketbook and be the last person with their hand in the air. Well, to get people to that event, you have to tell people about the event. And in the auction business, the auctioneers actually say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you want to hold an auction on your property? That's awesome. We want some skin in the game. You're going to fund this marketing campaign for us so that you don't cancel the auction the day before, you don't get cold feet. So the problem that my company had was that we had all these auctioneers who joined our company. The auction offering was relatively new, about 7 years ago. They joined our company because we told them we had awesome marketing, we had awesome technology. They got on the bus, and the first adopter said, yeah, you've got great technology, but you don't have marketing figured out. You don't know how to do event marketing. You don't know what to do with the seller money that's coming in to our office. We're still doing a lot of that ourselves, and there's a substantial opportunity costs associated with us building ads, placing our auction online on a variety of websites, writing copy, doing all of those things. So what I was brought in to do was figure out how to create a streamlined system that took, potentially 5,000 clients who had the same pain point. Hey, we need somebody to do event marketing for us, and we want it to be low touch, highly, highly professional. And I was brought into the industry without having any background on auctions. So I had to learn about the auctioneer and learn about their mindset. I knew about eBay and my feedback score of 89, but that was about it. So I knew that they had bought a solution like this before, but they had bought it with their own time, which was extremely, extremely expensive. Auctioneers make a really good living if you're good. If they find themselves sitting in front of a computer, plugging in auctions into websites and things like that, they are losing a lot of money. So they had bought a solution like this before from themselves, or maybe they had hired somebody to do this function, which is also very, very costly. So I knew that we had a problem that we could solve for them, and the question was, could we get them to trust us? Could we get them to understand that we were going to do the right thing for them? So how do they know about you? From my perspective, when we were launching Enhanced Marketing Solutions, I had a captive audience. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store. A lot of you don't have that luxury. So you're going out and you're finding your audience, kind of that first step in the process. But once they know about you, there's various levels of trust that you can establish with a customer. And I would argue that trust with a customer is more valuable than currency. That'll probably get me shot for saying that in an incubator, but it's true. If you think about, what's the most valuable thing, and you think about like the lifetime value of a customer, it's a heck of a lot easier for us to retain a customer and upsell them or continue to sell them on a recurring revenue plan versus going out and acquiring new ones and investing money in infomercials. The ones who are already our customers, we want to make sure that they trust us. And if they're not our customers, how do we establish that trust? There's a lot of ways that you can establish trust with a customer, specifically when you're a startup. You can build authority, for example, online. There's amazing, zero barrier to entry to going out and creating a voice for yourself, whether you do that through blogs or social media. Going in and just asking for a sale, I get hit up a lot just being in a marketing position by people trying to sell me services and goods. I typically don't respond to that really, really well. I like to understand their business and understand what problem they're going to solve for me, and then I also like to do business with people who are really, really cool, because there's so many people who provide services in the world. I like to work with people and vendors and partners who are really, really cool. And we establish a level of trust between each other. One of the guys who's done this really, really well, he was one of my SEO companies, no longer an SEO company anymore. He ended up becoming one of my really good friends and actually a mentor of mine because I trusted him. He called me out of the blue. He's like the one cold call that I take a year when I pick up my phone and listen to a salesperson. And he ended up being a really cool guy, and he didn't just go for the jugular right away and shoot me a proposal for $50,000 and tell me he was going to do all these things. He flew up to Kansas City and wanted to understand our business. And he invested in our relationship, and then he went for the kill, and we took the bait, and he had a very, very successful relationship with our company. So you know what you are, but your customers and getting them to know what it is that you're offering is really, really core, and then retaining that trust.